Please join me on Seesaw. We're going to find our task together. As you know, we are going to start practicing our IREAD skills, so everybody is ready. You may click on Activities, Assign to Class folder, Red ELA, and our task today is called IREAD Extended Practice Day number 1. Go ahead and find this task, open it up, and pause. Be ready to work together. All right, on slide number 1 is a skill that you will see on the IREAD test. This is a skill that we haven't practiced a lot, but this week we're going to practice it a lot, and you will feel ready when you see it on the test. So before we start doing slide number 1, I'm going to share with you guys some skills that will help you as we talk about IREAD. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about this idea of beginning sounds. Beginning sounds is a skill that you guys have been talking about since before kindergarten. Beginning sounds is the first sound in a word. So if I write the word cat, the beginning sound is the first sound you hear. Cat is k. It's the first sound. It's at the beginning. So on IREAD, they're going to test your knowledge about beginning sounds. We're not talking about letters. We're talking about the sound that you hear when you say the word. So let's talk about a couple examples of beginning sounds. On IREAD, they will give you a word like hope. The teacher will say a word like hope, and then it will ask you which word has the same beginning sound. Then it will give you a couple words. It might be something like this. Find the word that has the same beginning sound as hope. Well, when I hear the word hope, I know the first sound is h. So then I'm going to look at my options and I'm going to pick the word that has the same beginning sound. S. Your correct answer would be hair. Now, a lot of you might have been thinking about choosing the word soap because hope and soap rhyme. Rhyming is a kindergarten and first grade skill. They will not be asking you about rhyming on IREAD. Rhyming is not a third grade skill that they want to know about. They want to know, can you tell what the first sound is? Hope starts with just like hair. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do another beginning sound example. On IREAD, there might be an example like this. The teacher will say, find the word that has the same beginning sound as barn. Find the word that has the same beginning sound as barn. Your first job is to identify what is the beginning sound of the word. B, barn, B. Then you look at your examples. Look at your options. I see car, big, show. Car says k at the beginning. The beginning sound of car says k. Big says b at the beginning. The beginning sound of big is b. Show says shh at the beginning. The beginning sound of show is shh. So when the teacher says, choose the word that has the same beginning sound, arn, ig. Both of these have b as the beginning sound. Remember, we're not talking about matching letters. We're talking about matching the sound that you hear. A lot of times the letters will match, but not always. We're not matching letters. That's a kindergarten skill. And we're not rhyming. That's a kindergarten and first grade skill. We're talking about the sound that you hear and make with your mouth. Ashley, go ahead.
On the test, will there be like, so will there be like two words that have the same beginning sound?
Yep, we're going to do an example right now, Ashley, and you will see what it will look like on the test. Right now, I'm looking for friends who are focused and ready to go. You're looking at your Zoom screen and your Seesaw screen. Okay, so I have taught you a little bit about beginning sounds. I'm going to highlight in yellow the box that we're going to do right now on Seesaw. So you're focused with me looking at Zoom and Seesaw, looking at the yellow box. On the IREAD test, the teacher will read this part to you. I'm going to say that again. On the actual test day, there is a part that I read aloud and you have to listen. So we're going to do it just like that. We're going to do this yellow box right now. Start with number 7. Which word has the same beginning sound as knocking? On the test, I will read it more than one time, so you have to listen. Which word has the same beginning sound as knocking? Think about the sound that your mouth makes when you say knocking. Look at your 3 answer choices. I'm going to underline them in yellow. A, B, or C. On the test, the teacher will not read the answers, but we will read the question. I will say, which word has the same beginning sound as knocking? You will listen and you will choose either A, B, or C. So let's do this one together. Knocking, the first sound I hear is N. Notice it starts with a K, but we're not matching letters. That's a preschool first grade skill. We're talking about the sound. Knocking, I hear N at the beginning. So I'm going to match it to each word. Knocking, ite. Knocking, name. Knocking, hitting. The beginning sound of knocking is N. I heard that same beginning sound with B, name. N, aim, n, ocking. They both sound the same at the beginning. Let's try number 8. On the test, I will read it to you. I will not read the answers. You read the answers and you choose which one has the same beginning sound. Here we go. Let's do number 8. Which word has the same beginning sound as graduate? Which word has the same beginning sound as graduate? You listen to the word, identify the beginning sound, what sound you hear first, graduate. And you read A, B, and C, and you circle your answer. I'm going to read it one more time, and I want you to choose A, B, or C. Here we go. Which word has the same beginning sound as graduate? Let's go over it together. When I say graduate, the first sound I hear is gr. Graduate. I'm going to now match that sound to the other options. Graduate, rate. Graduate, nat. That one's a tricky one. This G is silent. They tricked us on that. Graduate, great. Oh, I think I hear it. Graduate, great. I know that it is C. They both start with gr. Gr.
Is that matching?
They're matching beginning sounds. Remember, they're not always matching letters. They're not asking you to rhyme. They're asking for the beginning sound. Graduate, great. They both have gr at the beginning. What questions do you have after we've done beginning sounds? What questions do you have, Ashley?
On the one that we said which word has the same beginning sound as graduate, what does the middle word say?
The middle word says nat, and it starts with the silent G. This is a tricky one. They probably on IREAD not give you this many tricky ones, but this one says gnat. It's a type of bug smaller than a fly. Okay. Okay. We have now practiced beginning sounds. This is a part of the IREAD test. It will feel just like this, where I read it to you, you read the answers, and you choose an answer. Okay. Now we're going to talk about a different skill, different than beginning sounds. On IREAD, there is something we're going to practice called ending sounds. Just like beginning sounds, but this time we're focused on the end of a word. Instead of the first sound you hear, the ending sound means the last sound you hear. So right now you're focused on Zoom, looking at Zoom so you can see my instruction. On IREAD, we will practice identifying a word that has the same ending sound. So what is the ending sound of this word? Hat. Hat. The last sound we hear, the ending sound is t. So on IREAD, I will read a word to you like hat, and you will have to pick a word that has the same ending sound. They will give you words with the same beginning sound, the same ending sound, and the same vowel. They might do something like this. On IREAD, it will say, find a word with the same ending sound as hat. Hat. And you will read your options. So you will go hair, sit, can. You will identify the ending sound of each word. Let's do that together. Hair, I hear r at the end. Hair. Let's try sit. 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 I hear t at the end. Can. Can. I hear n at the end. Which word has the same ending sound? Hat and sit. Notice they do not have to have the same beginning sound. Hat and sit do not start the same way. They do not have to have the same vowels, but when they ask about ending sounds, they're asking about that last sound you hear in a word. Hat, sit. They both end with t as the sound. Let's try it on seesaw together. I'm going to highlight the orange with orange, the box that we're going to do now. Look on Zoom to see the orange box. This is called our ending sounds. And let's do it together on seesaw. Right now you're looking at Zoom and seesaw to do them with me. Are you ready? Number 9. On the test, I will read the question to you. You will read the answers. Here we go. Which word has the same ending sound as late? Late. Which word has the same ending sound as late? Late. Go through your examples. On the test, I will not read it to you, but since we're practicing, I'm going to read them. You're going to read A, B, and C and think about that ending sound. Late. Late is the sound I hear last at the end. Late. So I'm going to match the words and see which one has t at the end. Here we go. A, later. Later. This one's tricky because I think they're trying to trick me here. I see the word late, but the last sound is er. Later. Er. That cannot be it. B says lamb. Lamb. I hear at the end. Late. Lamb. They start with L, but we're not talking about the beginning. We're talking about the end. Lamb cannot be it. Let's try C. Bat. Bat. Late. Bat. Late. They don't start the same way, but they both have the ending sound of t. So C, bat, is correct. Let's try number 10. On the IREAD test, I will read the question to you just like this, and then you will read the answers. Here we go. Which word has the same ending sound as bore? Bore. Which word has the same ending sound as bore? Bore. Now it's your turn. You go through and you read these words and you think about the ending sound that you hear in bore. Go ahead and choose your answer, A, B, or C. Okay, let's go over it together. Or, I hear or at the end. Or, I'm going to be looking for which word also has at the end. A says who. Who. I hear the oo for who. It is not A. Next is B. Pair. For pair. I hear r at the end. These both have the same ending sound. For hair. You can even feel it in your mouth. Think about the sound, the shape that your mouth is making. For pair. A B is the correct answer. Just to be sure, let's check with boom. C says boom. I hear at the end of boom. Boom. That's different than or, boom. Not bore. Good thing we checked it though. It's always good to be thorough. All right, great job, boys and girls. We're going to pause right there. You guessed it. We have done beginning sounds. We have done ending sounds. Now it's time to talk about vowels. Our next skill is going to be in the purple box. I'm highlighting the box purple right now.
I read your mind because I added the.
Awesome. I want you to look at Zoom and Seesaw right now. We're doing vowel sounds. You guys know the vowels. Vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Bring out that OG skill. You might be wondering, why do we practice OG so much? Because vowels are an important part of reading. On the IREAD test, when you get to the vowel part, I will not be the reader. I'm going to say that again. On the IREAD test, when you get to the part where they check your understanding of vowels, I will not read it to you. The teacher is only allowed to read the parts about beginning sounds and ending sounds. Okay? So because it's a practice day, I'm going to read it with you today, but on the test day, I will not be reading with you. Let's do the purple box together. Start with number 11. Number 11 has home as the word, and then the next three words go to the right like this. So if it helps you, you might even want to cross out number 12 so you don't get confused. Okay, number 11 is the word home. In this skill, we're not talking about beginning. We're not talking about the ending sounds. We're looking at the vowel. In the word home, the vowel is O. Home. You can feel the vowel in your mouth. Home. Then you will read the next three words. Kaylee, you should be focused. And you will choose the word that makes the same vowel sound. So let's do those together. We're still waiting on a few friends to be focused. The word is home. Go to our first word, ha-a-at. Ha-a-at. They both have O, but remember, we're not matching letters. We're matching sounds. Home and hot are different sounds. We know this because of OG. O can say O or it can say ah. Hot is not correct. Home says O, not ah. Go to our next word, ghost. Home, ghost. Did you hear that? Hear that long O? Home, ghost. I hear the long O. That's the same as home. Ghost has the same vowel sound as home. Let's try crown just to be sure. Always check all of them to be sure you have the correct answer. Home, crown. Whoa, look at how your mouth changes when you say those. Home, crown. Those are not the same vowels. O and ow are different vowel sounds. Crown is not correct. Crown says ow. Home says O. We have done number 11. I'm now going to erase my line from number 12. I want you to look at number 12. and I want you to try it. Read the word on number 12. Read it to yourself. Now think about the vowel sound. And now I want you to read the 3 options, the 3 answers. Your job is to circle the word that has the same vowel sound. Do that now, please. Oh yeah, choose the sound on number 12. Not doing our car right now. All right, our word is yell. L. Think about the vowel. L. Remember, we're not matching letters and we're not rhyming. That's not a 3rd grade skill. We're matching the vowel sound. Do you know your vowels? L. The first word is melt. M-elt. L. I'm thinking about how it sounds and thinking about how it feels in my mouth. L, m-elt. I hear the same vowel. I hear eh in there. I think it's melt, but I'm going to check the next 2 to make sure I'm getting the answer correct on my test. Next is the word me. L-m-e. Ooh. I heard a totally different vowel there. I heard E say E instead of eh. I know that's not correct. Next is the word grease. I notice more than one vowel here. E, A are working together to say E. Grease is different than L. L, E. Oh, that's different. It cannot be grease. Melt has the same vowel as L. You should have chosen melt. Great job. The next box, let's do blue. The next box we can do a little faster. And I want you to try it. It says choose the answer that works in both sentences correctly. It has 2 different sentences. 1, 2. And they want you to choose one word that works in both sentences. Which word can you put in both sentences to have it make sense? Read that to yourself now and choose an answer, either A, B, or C. Try it now. All right, let's go over it together. We have 2 sentences. Your job is to read both sentences and follow the direction. The direction says choose the answer that works in both sentences correctly. Here we go. We went swimming in the blank. There was a blank of oil under my dad's truck. I'm going to read each word and put it into the blank to see if it makes sense. This is sort of like Lexia. We went swimming in the lake. That makes sense. There was a lake of oil under my dad's truck. Ooh, that does not make sense. I don't think it's A. I'm going to cross off A. I'm going to do the same thing with the next word. We went swimming in the pool. That makes sense. There was a pool of oil under my dad's truck. I think that makes sense. I'm not going to cross it off yet. I'm just going to double check that C does not make any more sense, right? We want to choose the best answer when we take a test. Let's check C. We went swimming in the spot. I don't know what that means. I don't think that makes sense. There was a spot of oil under my dad's truck. Well, that one makes sense, but we went swimming in the spot. I don't think that's correct.
It's an alien.
Okay. Pool makes sense in both sentences. We went swimming in the pool. That makes sense. And there was a pool of oil under my dad's truck. When liquid is leaking out, it might make a little pool. That makes sense in both. So on IREAD, you might be asked a question like this to choose the word that makes sense in both sentences. Easy peasy stuff. Great job. Take a minute to fill in your work. Please click on slide number 2. Slide number 2, you're going to work on with a partner, and then we'll come back and share out the answers. Let's talk about how to understand the page. Just like on slide 1, we had these 4 boxes, sort of like a fraction. In this one, you have 3 boxes. You have this box, these go together, and then these go together, and then the bottom box goes together. Okay, that's how you can read the page. Let's talk about what you're doing. You are going to fill in the words that make sense. On the top box, should not have to shush students when I'm teaching. The top box has sentences, and look, this is number 1. So you're going to choose your answer from line number 1. Remember, number 1 goes across this way. Then you'll select an answer for number 2 blank. Number 2 is right here. It goes across this way. Same thing for 3. 3 goes across, then 4 goes across. Okay. I think you can understand this next box on your own. Just try that with a partner. Number 4, these or 14, these go together. 15, these go together. I'm going to put you into a breakout room with a partner. And then I'm going to give you 3 minutes to work on this slide. And then we'll share out our answers together. Okay. If you don't know something on this page, that's okay. This is our first day practicing these skills. You do not need to freak out. Try with your partner and we will go over the answers together. On slide number 2, let's start with the context clues. Yesterday, we went to see a blank. My mom bought me a tub of blank. The answers that make sense are, yesterday we went to see a movie. My mom bought me a tub of popcorn. Our next sentence.
You said 1 for each.
I have chose 1 for each. 1 for number 1, 1 for number 2. Shh, I shouldn't have to shush people when I'm teaching. You're listening. Number 3 and 4. The chapter blank was about fighting superhero. It was really blank. The chapter book was about a fighting superhero. It was really exciting. These words make sense. That's called context clues. Go to word parts on the right. Number 5. Which word has a prefix and only a prefix underlined? A prefix, you should know this from 1st and 2nd grade. A prefix is a small word added to the beginning. Refreshed has a prefix underlined. Re is a prefix. Number 6. Which word has a suffix and only a suffix underlined? A suffix is a small word added to the end of a word. Stopped. Stopped has ed added to it and it is underlined. Next box is synonyms and antonyms. We do not need to do the puzzle part. That's just extra for fun. The word is dull. meaning it does not have brightness or interest. The word is dull. Number 14, circle the word that has the same or about the same as the underlined word. Dull colors. Same as dull would be dark. When colors are dull, they're not dark. Those are synonyms. They mean about the same. Number 15, circle the word that means the opposite. Dull colors. The opposite of dull would be bright. When you wear something bright, it is not dull. Those are antonyms. If you did not understand synonyms and antonyms, that is okay. That was our first day looking at this layout of a problem. That's okay to practice that, but I saw a lot of good work here with context clues. That was the most important part, and I saw lots of good practice with that. Awesome job. Go to slide number 3, please. Slide number 3 is where we start the real practice for what the IREAD test will look like. On the IREAD test, you will have vocabulary like beginning, ending, vowel sounds. You will also have reading passages that you have to read and answer questions. On slides 3 and 4, these go together. Slides 3 and 4 go together. You will read the text. You will answer each question by highlighting with the color that goes with the question. On the IREAD test, you are responsible for highlighting your evidence in the text before you choose your answer. So let's do this together. I'm going to give you 1 quiet minute to read the text on slide 3. Then we will look at our questions and start highlighting evidence together. Your job starts now. Read the text on slide 3. Go. Let's talk about what your independent task is today. Your work starts on slide 8. We did not get to our next task on 5, 6, and 7. You may cross out 5, 6, and 7. If you want to do those, you may. We did not have time for those, and that's okay. We can be flexible. Your work starts on slide number 8, ocho primero. You have another find the evidence text. This one is a different story. You are going to complete the steps. Mrs. Sousa is too nice to you. She already boxed your question word and highlighted some clues. This will not be done for you on the test. You need to practice doing it yourself later this week. You will go back and highlight your evidence in the answers. Then on slide number 10, you have some vocabulary to practice by yourself, just like we did. Notice that there are things that read it to you because the teacher will read this part to you on the test. You will click play to hear it, and then you'll choose your answers for all of them on this page. Number 11 is just like what we went over together. You will try answering 1 word for each blank. When you are done, it says, watch me after you have finished your independent work. Mrs. Sousa has some videos she wants you to watch after you are done. Your work starts on slide number 8. It's now your break time. And then from 10 to 10:30, you will practice finishing slides 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I will be on at 10:30 to help you with